Hello, everyone, and welcome to your favorite podcast, Stop the Internet Podcast. My name is Kelee.
My name is Erin.
What up, y'all?
Hey.
Erin's back.
She's back.
It's snowing outside.
It's miserable out. I will never be a winter person.
Yeah, I need to force you to ski.
I listened to another episode where you guys talked about not forcing people into doing things that they don't want to do.
Well, I said I do it. That's a habit of mine.
That's not a good thing.
A toxic trait? I don't know. It's a fine line between forcing someone to do something and strongly encouraging.
Yeah, I mean, skiing, anything out in the snow sounds like something that could be done. But I just have too much on my plate right now.
All right. We'll see. Today we're talking about red flags. I guess we can just jump right into it. Do you have anything else you want to say before we start with our main topic?
I don't think so.
Cool.
Guess what?
What?
It's almost my birthday.
So you do have something to say.
I just thought of it.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How do you feel? Another year older. Another year wiser.
Another year hotter, another year richer.
Slay.
I did actually have a plan with my friends. I don't think we're going to have time to enact it, but I'm turning 29 this year. And we had planned to fake my death so that when I came back on my 30th birthday, it was more iconic.
And then your Instagram caption could be, "Honey, I rose up from the dead. I do it all the time."
Oh my God, I didn't even think of that.
Wait, why do you want to fake your death?
Just so that my 30th birthday was more iconic because, like, bitch, I'm still here. We planned this a while ago. A good friend of ours put it in his calendar because he was, like, really on board for it. And then he sent it to our group chat, like, a few days ago and was like, why is it in my calendar to fake Erin's death this week? I was like, well, it should be in everyone's calendar.
I feel like I need more from the creative brief on why
I don't know
death
I don't know that any of us were in a sober mindset when we came up with the plan, so I couldn't tell you the entire creative direction of it.
Okay.
But it definitely held weight in the moment. We were like, yes, this is iconic. Fake the death at 29, rose up at 30. Anyway, I don't think I'm going to fake my death this year. I will see you guys next year at 30. And I'll see you this year at 29.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. I could be talked into it, but yeah, I need more.
We're running out of
details.
time. We're running
More
out of
energy, more passion.
If anyone has ever faked a death, let us know. I think we could benefit from your knowledge. I don't want to be buried, though.
Is it a red flag that she wants to fake her own death just so that she can have more attention on her 30th birthday?
I feel like that's a green flag. That's like a good freaking time.
You know, I support it. I don't have to understand everything. What do you think is your biggest red flag?
I don't think I have any. No, I'm just kidding. I can't think of any. What do you think is my biggest red flag?
I don't know.
I feel like
it's hard to think when you don't have like a specific
I think if I had to, like, in terms of what? In terms of like friendships or dating or like...
Yeah, I would say both of those.
Okay, I feel like I don't really know that I have a red flag in friendships. I feel like I really care about my friends and I just try my best to be kind and good to them. And if anything ever happened where I wasn't good to them, I would be able to recognize it and right my wrongs. In dating, I think my friends have told me that my red flag is that I just kind of let people walk all over me.
Wow.
I know. My friends say that, like, I'm too nice. I need to, like, learn to stand up for myself, which I feel like I do, but I guess other people see that I don't stand up for things that I should be standing up for.
Yeah, I feel like your red flag and my red flag are very similar. It's almost like when someone else is treating... I feel like this is what we were like in the past. I kind of feel like I'm at a point where, like, I learned the lesson and hopefully I'll never accept this again. But if someone wasn't treating me right, but I just really liked them or really liked the idea of them, I wouldn't believe my friends when they, as outsiders, would be like, no, this is actually what's happening.
Yeah.
And you have rose-colored glasses on. I would just be like, no, but you don't understand. Like, I know him. And then looking back, I'm like, oh, wait, no. My best friend was right about every single guy.
Yes, I've done that so many times. And there have been so many times where, like, people have pointed out the red flags. And, like you just said, I've been like, no, you don't get it. And then at the end of it all, like, my best friend will look at me and be like, the flags were there. You chose to ignore them. And I'm like, I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
So I think my red flag is that I don't even ignore red flags. I just, like, brush them under the rug. And I just let more red flags rain down on me.
Well, it's so easy to make excuses when you're in the moment and you really like this person or the idea of them. I feel like that was my red flag in the past. I would like the idea of people more than I liked the person. Yes. And I would like make something up in my mind about who they are. And then whenever their actions and their actual self didn't align with the idea that I had in my head of them, I would then create these like excuses and delusional ideas about why they're doing that. But I really try to not do that anymore. And I'm going to try to never do it again.
I read like just a simple line many, many years ago, and it says, never fall in love with an idea.
Yeah.
And I very much try to stick to that, like, especially like in dating. Like if I catch myself thinking the idea of someone or something is really good, I literally like have to take a step back and tell myself, never fall in love with an idea. No, I don't think I fall in love with ideas. I think I just brush red flags under the rug because that's my toxic trait.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I've said this on the podcast before, but the quote that women fall in love with the idea of what a man could be in the future and men fall in love with what a woman is right now. I wonder how that works in same-sex relationships. Do you think if a man was interested in a man, they would fall in love with the idea of them, and a woman...
Well, I don't think it's very standard that every woman falls in love with an idea.
Well, it's just like stereotypically, and it's like psychologically women's brains are more, or female brains are more likely to do that, and then male brains are more likely to do the opposite.
Yeah, so I think, but like, yeah, that's stereotypically, but not every woman is like that. Not every man is like that. So it doesn't matter in a same-sex relationship. There's going to be some people that do some and some people that do the other.
But I think there is a reason why that's such a common idea, and possibly, I don't know if there's ever been like actual psychological studies on it, but I feel like I've heard therapists and doctors, people that know what they're talking about, say that. And I wonder if that would be true for, say, of course, not every same-sex couple, but
I don't know.
I wonder if it's like the same idea.
I don't know.
I'm going to research this and write a paper on it and get back to you.
Yeah. One thing, whether you are a man or a woman, do not fall in love with an idea of what I could be, because what you see is what you get.
Never fall in love at the Jersey Shore.
Never.
Now that we've shared our wisdom, shall we get into the debates?
Let's do it.
The guy I'm talking to called me a crazy red flag. I've been talking to this guy for about 3 months. We usually text pretty consistently throughout the day. The last week or so, he has started significantly texting less. He says work is very busy. Oh, it's always the work is very busy.
It's always this consistently texting less. Like, yeah. why are we bothering?
It's always the breadcrumbs, so that it's because, I'll tell you why. It's because they're emotionally immature and they're too scared or weak to just tell you how it is. Mm-hmm. Or the other option is they're also emotionally immature, but they have a better option, on the back burner, and they're just keeping you along just in case something else doesn't work out. They can always go back to you.
Yeah. I've done this recently, the
breadcrumbing to man.
No. Had the breadcrumbing done to me.
Okay.
And I remember talking to Rebecca about it, and she was like, yeah, I think we can read the signs. And I was like, no. Like, he's definitely busy with work.
His work is in his busy season. He really just can't even give me the time of day.
He's so busy. It's so funny because our one best friend, Laura, she is like my go-to for advice. It's so... I don't know why, because it's not like she's like beyond experienced in dating, but she's like...
It's not like she's smart or anything.
She always gives good advice. And multiple people that I've kind of like dated, and like this specific one that this happened to me, I'm always like, oh, what's gonna happen, whatever. I hate that they can't just like tell me straight up. One thing Laura always says to me is men always come back. They always end up coming back. And I'm like, Laura, I have never had a man come back.
It's always when you least expect it, though.
No, but she keeps telling me that, and I have literally never had that happen to me. Not the breadcrumbing, not someone who's cut it off. Like, they never, I don't know, she's always like, it doesn't matter how, unless they literally look you in the eye and say, like, we are never, ever getting back together, like, ever. She says they always end up coming back, and I'm like...
I think you think that because No, I feel like they do, Erin. I feel like there's still people from high school that try to text you and DM you.
But not people that I actually like dated.
See, I think it's not people that you actually really like. But it's not that people...
There's no one that I've ever dated that has come back and been like, how are you?
Can I out something though? Your main like long-term relationship, it wasn't a clean break, because Erin and this person, they had a really long relationship. So then when they broke up, it wasn't like a clean break. Like you guys communicated for a long time, like going back and forth.
But I think that's different than just like seeing someone for a while and then like them playing some little game and then thinking, oh, they always come back. Because that wasn't just a him coming back. That was like us trying to figure out how to break up something after many, many years.
Yeah. I wonder though if it just happens and you just don't even realize it because it's not people that you're like,
so.
I don't know.
I really don't think so.
Interesting. Well, maybe it just hasn't happened yet, because I saw the same TikToks when one time I really liked a guy and then this thing happened, the breadcrumb and then the ghosting. And one thing I'm proud of is I was talking about him like later on to my best friend, and she was like, oh my God, the amount of times he ignored you. And I was like, no, he ignored me one time. Because the first time somebody doesn't text me back, I will never talk to them again.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like, not that I pride myself, but I really, really try so hard when after a breakup or you like a guy and they don't like you back, I do not text them.
Yeah.
No matter what. No matter how much I want to, I'm like, I will not pick up the phone and text them.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of myself for that. But throughout all that time after this person stopped talking to me, I would see all these TikToks being like, oh no, they always come back saying the same thing. All these videos being like, it might not happen after 1 or 2 or 6. It could be 5 years, but they always come back.
5 years?
And I have had people text me after like an extremely long time. Yeah.
Lose my number.
I know. It's really weird. I just don't answer though.
Yeah, no. I almost was that person though, with this person that did the breadcrumbs thing to me. It was within the last year, and he had a dog that I was obsessed with. And when I started thinking recently about getting a dog, I really just wanted to be like, who's your breeder? Like, I'm so sorry if this is weird. Like, I just like loved that dog. It was like healthy, you know, bred well. And I just wanted to be like, you know, where did you get your dog from? But I was like, how psychotic would I come off if after like 6 months of not speaking after you just breadcrumbed me, I was like, hey, sorry if this is a little strange. You're probably dating someone else. That's probably why you dropped me. But like, where'd you get your dog?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a weirdo, but like, can we be adults? Like, just tell me where you got your dog.
Inherently, it's not that weird, but you would never be able to convince them that that's the only reason you're
I know. But I also think that comes from, like, I'm a very stable-minded person, and I'm literally texting you to ask where you got your dog. But you're the one that couldn't even just break things off with me. So that's why you're going to be the crazy one thinking that I'm not simply texting you about a dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Should we go back into the story?
Yes.
Okay. So they've been talking for 3 months. This last week or so, he has started significantly texting less. He says work is very busy. Totally fine, completely understandable. Last week he told me next week will be better. Well, here we are. He's continuing to do the same thing. Leave me undelivered for hours, barely talking to me. I can't remember the last time we had an actual conversation. He doesn't ask me anything about me or what's going on with me. I understand if work is busy. I don't need constant communication all day. But he used to text on his morning break and on his lunch. Now he doesn't even do that. It's pretty obvious he is losing feelings and pulling away. We mostly talk on Snapchat, where I've sent him a few sexy pics. I make sure my face is never in any of the pics.
That's what he's keeping you around for.
Yeah, literally. Anyway, yesterday I kind of got fed up with his lack of effort and communication and deleted all the pics he saved in our chat that I had sent him. My train of thought is that if you can't make time for me, I'm not that important to you, and you're probably going to ghost, you don't get my pics. Slay. It takes 2 seconds to send a text on lunch or break. If he wanted to talk to me, he would. I never sent him any nasty messages or blew up his phone. I simply just deleted the pics. He finally messaged me back last night, basically calling me crazy, and a red flag going from 1 to 1,000 because I deleted the pics. Like he was literally sending me gifs of red flags. Girl. We're done.
He's literally the red flag.
I tried to explain my reasoning, but he kept deflecting, calling me crazy. I also told him he was kind of hurting my feelings by saying that, and he just proceeded to make a joke instead of addressing what I had just said. I don't feel like deleting the pics was a crazy thing to do. I feel like this is just him gaslighting me. But now he's got me convinced that maybe it was crazy. No, he's gaslighting you.
He's 100% gaslighting
Successfully.
you. He's crazy. You are not crazy. He's playing the little game, and you were like, yeah, let me just defend myself, and he's blowing up because he's crazy.
Yeah, he's manipulating you.
Yeah. End of discussion.
Blocked.
Done.
That's just a perfect example of when someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Oh, yeah. That's the truth. True colors always come out.
Mm-hmm. You guys know we've been talking about Magic Mind. I've been loving it. Obviously, everyone struggles with focus and productivity from time to time, but thankfully we found a solution. Magic Mind is a little energy shot that you drink in the morning along with or instead of your daily caffeine. It helps your brain work better. It helps you stay focused. Ingredients like matcha, ashwagandha, lion's mane mushrooms reduce stress, keep your energy levels on track, reduce fatigue, and keep you focused throughout the day. I actually notice a difference when I drink it, and some of my friends have said the same. It's just like a little extra boost. I would recommend it. I've been enjoying taking it. So if you're interested in trying Magic Mind for yourself and getting all those benefits, you can use our code STOP20 for 20% off your first purchase. And if you're interested in trying a subscription, you can click the link in our bio or go to magicmind.com/janstop. That's JANSTOP, and use our code STOP20. And you'll get 75% off of your subscription because Magic Mind is offering an extra 20% off a subscription when you use the link and the code, which is amazing. Once again, if you're interested in trying it, hit the link in our bio or go to magicmind.com/janstop and use our code STOP20, baby. Help yourself out this snowy season. Okay, let's continue on. Do I break up with my girlfriend over this? My, male 24, girlfriend of 2.5 years, female 23, has two options at the end of her lease in March. Currently, we live a 30-minute drive away and see each other 4 to 5 days a week. We have done long distance for under a year, a 2-hour drive in 2022. Option 1, this is when she's done her lease. Option 1, we move in together, which we both want to do, her less than me, in the same HCOL city. What does that mean?
HCOL.
Let me see if I can look it up. High cost of living. Okay. High cost of living city. She lives there now, but I live at home still. Option 2, she moves to another city 5-hour drive away to live with her childhood best friend. Rent and low cost of living is 50% of the current city and is closer to her parents' cottage. Okay, that's tough.
Yeah.
She may only be there for a year or may come back, or we may move somewhere else together. I don't want to go, but would consider another city. That is up in the air. I have minimal family and friends. She says that I am not committed because I would break up with her if she chooses option 2 because I tried long distance with my ex-girlfriend when I was younger and it did not work. Also, I don't want to move to the low cost of living city as I have friends and my job, which I really like, and my family in my current city. I am committed to the relationship, but I do not want to do a long distance relationship, and she sees no problem, even for a year, could be more. She is now having doubts moving in with me because she thinks I am not committed if I am not willing to go long distance for a year so that she can live with her best friend. Am I wrong for refusing to do long distance and breaking up with her if she chooses option 2?
Wow. I think that
so
they just
hard.
sound not compatible. They just want different things in life. She doesn't want to live in that city that badly, and he wants to live in that city that badly, period. Like, you want different things in life.
Yeah.
And I understand, like, the high cost of living is very difficult. You know, like, we live in an expensive city, but I also know that, like, cost of living comes with payment. So, like, you live in a city where the wages aren't meet the taxes, meet the cost of living. If you move somewhere where you're going to be paying a significant less amount of money for rent, odds are you're going to be making a lot less money. So you're not necessarily, it's not like, oh my God, I'm going to be saving all of this money and then in a year we can buy a house. No, like, she wants to live with her friend, and that's fine. I don't see an issue with her wanting to live with her friend over you after 2 years. Like,
Yeah.
I've been given shit for very similar situations for not being ready to move in with someone. However, moving that far away is difficult. And she wants to be near her parents. That's hard too.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's not a red flag from either of them about where they want to move. It is kind of weird that she's like jumping to conclusions and being like, well, you're not committed because you're not going to do long distance with me.
Although he is giving her an ultimatum.
Yeah. I feel like this is more about ultimatums.
Yeah, what it comes down to is he's giving her an ultimatum. You're going to move in with me, or you're going to move far away and we are not going to date. If she came back with a third option and she was like, I'm not ready to move in together, but I am going to stay in the area so that we don't have to be long distance, then this person is the red flag. If they're still like, no, you're going to live with me or we're not going to do this, then they become the red flag. But like right now, is there a red flag in the situation? I think that they're just not, they just don't want the same things.
Yeah. Also, it's more of a red flag for her to be like, yeah, I'm going to move 5 hours away from you and I'm going to do the long distance and maybe I'll move back, but maybe I won't.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to know what you want.
Yeah. I feel like you have to know what you want if you're going to say this about your partner. Because like, couldn't he say the same thing to her? Well, you're not committed if you're just gonna move 5 hours away and never come back to me.
Yeah. I mean, they're also young. They probably don't know what they want in life, truly. Like, they don't know where they want to spend the rest of their lives if they're 23 years old. They probably just got out of college and now they're trying to figure it out, which is hard. I'm not faulting anyone with this. However, they don't know what they want, and like, you can't put ultimatums on things like that.
Yeah, that's so hard. It's so sad when you meet someone or you're dating someone and then you come to find that you have this like extremely surface level thing that just makes you incompatible as partners in life. And it's like those things that are non-negotiables, but they're not like deep or like it's just always harder, I think, when the things that make you not compatible are surface level, because feelings are so deep and emotions are so important, and like connection and human connection, that is so important. And then it's like, oh, we don't want to live in the same place. Is that really worth breaking up over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
You kind of have to.
Life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think about that. And that is something that I've actually kind of put on the forefront in my dating life right now.
Yeah,
like
me
said,
too.
You know, if you know for a fact that you want to move to California or Texas or something that's, you know, 6 hours away from where my parents are going to be in life. I mean, it's one thing to be like, oh, I want to move to Florida, and you want to be, you know, on the East Coast, and it's anything's a 2-hour flight to get to your parents. But if you want to move across the country and it's 6-7 hours, like, I'm putting that at the top of my list because we simply aren't compatible.
Yeah, I know, it's so sad. I feel like pro tip is like, when you start dating, lay out your like 5 non-negotiables, whether it's like income, where you live, religion, if you want kids or not. Like, these are the most important things, and I just feel like it'll save you time if you don't fall in love with someone that has no intentions of living where you want to live, or having kids when you don't want to have kids, or any of those things.
It's so true. And then especially because people think they're going to change your mind. And it's like, no, that's why I lay it out. So it's very important things to me. Like, I don't know that I want kids in life. And I make that known from the start. Like, am I open to maybe someone changing my mind down the road? If I'm absolutely so infatuated with someone that I want to give them a kid, sure. But I cannot be with someone who looks at me and is like, I want 5 kids and that's what I want in life, and I want to be a dad, I want to be a parent. It's like, then I'm probably not it for you. Yeah. If that's all you, and there are people like that, and I know women like that all they want in life is, they feel it is their goal to be a mom, and that's great. It is not my goal in life to be a mom. If I fall in love with someone and I just, you know, get that feeling of like, I do want to, you know, a white picket fence life with them and my children, fine, maybe I'll change my mind. But don't come in thinking, I'll change Erin's mind. Do not, because you might not.
I feel like that's the idea, that people fall in love with the idea, or who they could be, what they could want in the future if they'll change their mind. Yeah. I feel like when you're dating someone, you should be like, if this person never changes, do I want them to be my partner? If they change for the worse, do it. Like, take like whatever their worst quality is or your least favorite thing about them and think, if this never gets better, or even if it gets worse, will I be able to live with them? And do I want this person as my partner? Yeah. And if the answer is no, then I think you have the answer.
I remember dating someone a very long time ago when I was younger, and I 1000% did not want kids, especially at a young age. So I was like, you know, if you think you're going to have kids in your mid-20s, like, I'm definitely not the girl for you. And I remember this person saying to me things like, I don't think I want kids either. So like, you know, maybe we together change our mind down the road, but I don't want kids. You don't want kids. That's great. And And I remember a little while in them starting to say things like, well, when we have kids at Christmas, what are we? And I'm like, but you changed your mind and you can't now fault me down the road if I do not want kids. That's something that you have to be open and honest about. And again, and it's okay to change your mind, but don't not say it to me and then just like start spewing things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's one of my fears in a relationship, because obviously people grow as you age. You change your mind about things. People change. I am like so scared that I'm going to marry someone with certain beliefs and then they're going to change.
Yeah.
Something so drastic that's like important to me. So hopefully that never happens. Try to manifest.
I'm not saying I'm never going to change my mind. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying don't come in knowing you want the opposite thing as me, thinking you're gonna change my mind.
Yeah. I just think when you're dating and in relationships, just expect and like live life as if this person is never going to change their mind. And that's kind of how you have to make decisions, especially when you already don't agree.
Yes.
Like if you start out not agreeing, don't live your life in delusion thinking that one day they might change.
Yeah. Even with something as simple as like religion, like if religion isn't a huge part of your life, but you have some beliefs and then the person you like has a little bit of a different belief and you can both say, oh, religion's not that important to me. But what it comes down to is, are you going to get married in one of your churches?
Right.
Are you going to baptize your child in one of your churches? Like you do have to talk about these things early on before you just put a ring on it, it rolls around, and now it's an issue.
Yeah.
Definitely think about those things.
I had a relationship end because of religion. And it was so sad. But it's like, at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to try to change this person, and they're not going to try to change me. So it just doesn't work. Especially if you feel strongly about it. Like, I get it when people make it work. I feel like a lot of times with religion, people just like think they are something just because their parents were, or just because they were raised as that thing. And then they get to the point where they're an adult and they're like, oh yeah, I'm Catholic, but I haven't gone to church in 7 years and I don't believe anything that Catholicism teaches and I don't even believe in God. You're not Catholic then. Like, it's not like you signed a document and one day you have to go and like unsign it or like sign out of the church. It's like, if you don't believe it, you are not that thing. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people that comes up in relationships, like a lot of my friends that are getting married are not religious. And then it's like, oh yeah, but you get married in a church because you grew up Catholic. Do you? You're not Catholic.
We have someone in our family getting married soon, and I remember someone else in the family being like, oh, just make your mother happy and get married in the church. And the person was like, my mom doesn't care. And I was like, good. Like, it's good. Like, you can't have people push you to do these things. Oh my gosh. I know. And I don't think religion is like the biggest deal breaker in my life. Like, I do think I would be open to, you know, dating, marrying someone of any religion as long as we can kind of make it work and, you know, meet in the middle. And like, you know, if I meet someone Jewish, maybe raise our kids to celebrate both holidays, mine and yours, something like that. I'm totally open to. But I remember dating for a little while and really liking a Jewish guy. And then at the end of it, when like he ended up ending things, I like looked back on it and I'm like, he wants a nice Jewish girl and I'm not it. Like, and that's fine. That's fine. It's just like, I wish he would have realized that earlier on. Because it sucked that you dragged me along for whatever 6 months and I really liked you and you knew from day one that I was Catholic and, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter. But you definitely have to think about these things before you jump into something with someone.
I think it's hard too because a lot of times like people aren't even super religious because of like the teachings, but it's like the morals and ethics that they learned from that religion. So I feel like if deep down, if you have the same morals and ethics, and like maybe you just don't believe that like the Bible is fact, maybe you just believe it's a story to teach like a really important lesson about morals, maybe you can make it work. But then if the actual teachings of the religion is what's important to you or the person that you're dating and you guys don't agree on that, it's like, think about, do you want to wake up every single Sunday for the rest of your life and go to a church that you don't believe in the teachings of? Like, I feel like it works if people aren't like extremely religious and like very dedicated to like going to the services on a weekly basis. Maybe you could make it work. But yeah, that's something that's so hard to come to terms with, but I think it just gets harder as you go along.
I think you also have to be open. Now we're just totally off topic.
I know.
But I think you also have to be open-minded about learning other religions too, because like I know people in my life who were Christians but not Catholics, and they were not very open-minded about learning other religions. And they've literally said to me like, oh, Catholics aren't Christians. And I'm like, you simply don't understand what my beliefs are if you just said that line to me. And I think if you were a little more open-minded about religion, you could realize that you can actually date someone out of your direct denomination of religion or of Christianity, because what it comes down to is we all have pretty similar beliefs.
Yeah.
And you're just not open to hearing that we have similar beliefs.
Yeah. I feel like that's like the sad thing about just like the world. Like,
yeah,
most religions like actually do believe in the same thing. It just is stated in different ways.
Right. And a lot of things descend from the same writings and scriptures.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter if they're in different languages and steer so far apart, like we all believe in like one higher power, whatever. Like, unless you're atheist, and I mean, that's a different story. But
and you know what's sad about religion too? It's like if you believe in God, like those people that are like, well, I can't date a Christ or a Catholic if I'm Christian, whatever. Like if you both believe in God, you are praying to the same person. Like you guys are talking to the same
and you
person.
can raise your kid believing in the same person.
Yes. One more thing about religion, like, I just, like, really believe this. The thought that, like, God is this, like, well, he doesn't want you to do that. Like, he needs you to get married to someone in the same religion. Like, you guys, God made all of this.
Yeah.
Like, everything we see, everything we touch, like, literally every single thing in the universe, God made it. I think he's a pretty cool guy. Like, he can take a joke. He understands you.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine, okay? We don't have to, like, die on these hills of, like, I can never date someone that has the label Catholic when I have the label Christian. Like, you guys, like, let's all be on the same page. Let's all be on each other's team.
I literally had a similar conversation to this with my therapist recently, and all I could think about was the rapture conversation that we had.
The rapture.
Because I was thinking back to when you were saying how, like, maybe it did happen and we were all chosen or whatever.
Yeah.
Because my therapist was like, there's bad people out there and there's good people out there. And all I could think about was, those people weren't chosen in the rapture and I will be.
Yes.
Do not lump us all together. That's all I could think about. And then it like spiraled into me thinking about like, God made all of us. Why did he make you? Like, about bad people, not about good people.
And like when you're going through dating, just think like, is this person the person that I want to face the rapture?
I was just gonna say that.
Will this person make the cut?
That's what I was gonna say. It's one thing if you're like, do I want to face the rapture with them? And you know what? I know I'm gonna get rid of them there because I'm gonna make the cut and you're not.
When the good Lord comes down to choose, to pick and choose, to tap us each on the shoulder and say, come with me, you've made it. Is this person going to be coming along with you? Do you want them to?
Is God counting red flags? I feel like Erin's got 4, she made it, Kelly's got 6. If I can't count on one hand how many red flags you have, you don't get chosen in the rapture.
Wow, this has just gone on. Like, I feel like now we're like one of those religious podcasts that's like giving you deep advice about like religious trauma that like your grandparents have told you and like forced upon you when they're talking about like your dating life.
Yep.
That's not what I mean. I just feel like
we're not a religious podcast. We're a red flag storytelling podcast. Yeah. We're simply saying that your religious trauma is a red flag. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Our system.
Just kidding.
Okay, wow. Any more thoughts about the good Lord Jesus Christ?
I think he gave me red flags, and if you're holy enough, you'll accept them.
Wow, that's so true. I think if I pray hard enough, all the red flags will go away. Sorry.
I think if I pray hard enough, men will stop throwing them at me.
Yeah, no, they probably will.
I don't know. We're not there yet.
Sorry. Okay, that was just like that was like a little too personal about what I believe. Like, I shouldn't have said all that.
But I don't even think you talked about what you believe as much as you talked about we should all be accepting of what each other believes.
Okay, yes, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Maybe
I don't
one
think
day
I told anyone exactly what I believe.
Yeah, true. I feel like they now know that we believe in God. Sorry, we just had a camera issue, so I completely lost my train of thought. But God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. Wait, hold on. One more thing that's just like such a slay is like whether you believe in the Catholic Church or not, you cannot deny that the music absolutely slaps. Like, well, if I would go to church for one thing other than like, you know, the meditation and the praying, it would be the music.
No, see, girls that I used to work with that were like non-denominational Christians, they think that their music slaps. It's like pop Jesus music.
It probably does
that you hear on the radio. But I think they would say Catholic music is like cult-like. like. Which, if you're in the
Keep your goddamn opinions to yourself, okay? Table of plenty? Companions on a journey?
Look, I don't know. I'm just saying, people think that the Catholic Church is a cult. Do you remember when Jimmy... One quick last story.
No, keep it going. I'll just change the title of the episode.
Jimmy will probably have to tell this story better than I will someday, but he said that when he and Kelee traveled Europe last summer, they did go to see the Vatican, and Jimmy was raised Catholic and Kelee was not. And she said that they took a very small personal tour with a personal tour guide, and she was just kind of like, you know, telling the ins and outs of the Vatican and all the cool things there. I mean, it's pretty insane. It's really cool. And like the architecture and the old money and things like that, it's really awesome. And apparently the tour guide was giving details of things like that, and Kelee was just kind of like, wow, like, wanting no parts of it. And Jimmy was actually intrigued by a lot of it. And Jimmy tried to say to Kelee, you know, like, even though this isn't your religion, like, this is historical. This is, you know, architecture, like things like that. It's art. And Kelee was just kind of like, you know, I appreciate it, but whatever. And eventually the tour guide had to stop Kelee and be like, what? You think that your religion is better just because you think that we have dirty money and you don't?
Wait, what?
Like, honey, money is money.
Wait, I'm dead at like the like admission.
The little Italian lady?
No, at the like, I feel like she's like admitting that she knows that they are flawed.
I think she was trying to say, like, you think that your church is clean and you think that our church is dirty money, but we all get our money from donations or whatever, and your money's not clean and mine's not dirty.
Wait, I love that Kelee said nothing. She said absolutely nothing except, oh yeah, it's nice. And this woman comes over and goes, I know that you think that your church is better.
I don't
like, okay, the victim complex. Not everything's a personal attack.
Intense. I think maybe Kelee was giving a little more sass, and the woman didn't come off as hard as you're thinking.
Yeah.
But it's very funny to just...
No, that is funny.
I'm not trying to shame Kelee into thinking her religion is wrong. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, whatever. Some people are right and some people are wrong. I'm probably wrong. What do I know?
I don't know. It would be fun to do a deep dive on like what we actually think.
The problem is that everyone on this podcast was raised Christian, and I think...
But that doesn't really show what you think now.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, if we couldn't deep dive and compare religions because we've got you, me, Trisha, Jimmy, who were raised Catholic.
Yeah.
Rebecca, who was raised Christian. And here we are.
Okay, one thing that absolutely slaps, though, is Jewish weddings. They're so fun and honestly inspiring. I love the ceremony. So beautiful. And then the reception with the dance that they do that I'm forgetting the name of right now. So much fun. Anyway, all that was irrelevant. And shall we continue talking about red flags?
Red flags.
Okay. Is not having an Instagram as big of a turnoff as people have led me to believe? I've been using dating apps on and off for about a year now and have had great results. However, I've noticed that a lot of my matches will pretty much ghost me the second I tell them I don't use Instagram. This usually happens when they ask to take a conversation elsewhere and suggest Instagram. I'll tell them I don't use it, but I do offer alternatives that I use. If you'd like a reason...
What are the alternatives?
I don't know. Maybe WhatsApp?
LinkedIn?
Yeah, LinkedIn. Maybe Facebook, WhatsApp.
Okay.
TikTok.
All right.
If you'd like a reason as to why I don't use Instagram, I feel using multiple social media platforms is a little redundant personally, but explaining myself doesn't seem to work, and I end up losing out on messaging some people when I do tell them. They're usually beautiful too, crying face. I don't really care as I get matches that don't have an issue with it, but I was wondering if people have noticed this issue. Is not having an Instagram a turnoff to some people? I'm interested to hear your experience.
This is tricky for me right now.
I'm gonna just speak from my personal experience. Everyone that I personally have experienced that doesn't have an Instagram and has an excuse as to why has been a shady liar. I'm not saying that everyone is, but the people that I know that has happened with.
I personally don't currently have an Instagram. My sister
Shady
just
liar.
called me a shady liar. A close friend of mine also deleted their Instagram recently. Shady liar. So anyway, back to what I was gonna say. Prior to me deleting my social media, I agree, shady liar. Now I'm in the situation. I don't feel that I'm a shady liar. I feel that it's for my own mental health to not be on the internet at all times. I would believe that people probably think that that's very weird of me.
Yeah, I think that it really depends though, because like, I get that some people have it, but then they deactivate their account. I guess it depends on who the person is. Because
but you don't know who the person is if you just met them on an app. That's the problem.
Yes, exactly. And if I just met someone on an app, I almost feel like Instagram, although you could, I guess, still just like fake all your pictures and fake all your Instagram posts, I kind of feel like Instagram like validates a story in a certain way. Because if this person's like, oh, I went to high school here, I went to college here, Instagram almost has like, depending on how much they posted, and I feel like people used to post way more.
Yes.
Especially like when we were in high school, like everyone posted their graduation, everyone posted college graduation. Now like I don't really post a ton, but I kind of feel like it's a timeline of your life for a lot of people. So if you want to like go back and be like, did they actually go to school here? You can see that they did.
Yes.
I think that it's not shady if you don't use Instagram, but to be like, oh, I don't have it at all, I would just take note of that. And I would probably go slower in gaining trust with that person, to be completely honest. And I'm not saying Instagram automatically means you can trust someone, but I do think that like in certain cases, like for example, I can be like, I went to Temple University. Someone could vet that and scroll back to my graduation photo that I posted in my like Temple gear on campus and be like, okay, she probably did go there.
Yeah.
And I feel like you could do that with someone if you're like on the fence. I also think that fuckboys love to be like, and I'm sure girls do this too, but I think guys do it more. I don't have Instagram because I just am so busy. Like, I don't feel the need, yada, yada. Okay. You probably don't have Instagram because you talk to 37 girls and you don't want them to see all the other people who you follow, the new girls you follow, the people who like your photos, the girls who comment on your photos when you post them. That's what I've experienced in my personal life.
Yeah.
I also think there's a difference between, oh, I don't have Instagram, or like, or I deactivated my account for a few months because I'm really busy, or like I was addicted to it and I just needed to take a step back. Or I have an account, but I just deleted it off my phone because I go on it too much. Like, I feel like you can get a vibe. If someone's like, oh yeah, I don't have an account and I never have and I never will, I'd be like, what are you hiding?
Yeah.
I get it. Maybe that's judgmental, but that's what I would think, just based off of other people that I've met.
Okay. So me and our close friend Dave are shady liars.
You probably will have Instagram again in your life. And it's not that you've never had it and you're never going to use it. It's that, oh, I just needed a break. So
yeah,
I deactivated my account for now. Yeah.
Everyone will be able to fact check me when it comes back.
Yeah.
You can fact check where I went to college, whatever you want.
I don't think I would immediately rule someone out for it, though. I would just be very, very wary.
You know what? I have not immediately ruled people out for it, and it has ended up being a red flag.
Yeah, me too.
So maybe you should rule people out for it. Rule me out, honestly. All power to you, because if you got to learn to rule people out, stick to your guns.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
I proposed to my girlfriend last year. She doesn't really want anyone to know. She probably doesn't have an Instagram either. I have an amazing video of it where people were cheering. Why doesn't she want anyone to know? This is a 29 male and a 29 female. She posts regularly on social media and is on Instagram daily. She put a picture of me and her at the spot I proposed on Instagram with the caption, best day ever, and a few nice emojis, the twinkle, the ring, engagement ring, and a pink heart.
Okay, it sounds like people know.
She has since removed the emojis from the post. And I asked her, and she denies it, and said they were never there.
Mandela effect. True.
I know I saw it because it made me happy at the time.
Aww.
It's been 6 months since I proposed, and even her friends are saying to me it's strange that she's not posted anything about it. It makes me feel like either she doesn't want other guys to know or she's embarrassed to be with me, which is far less likely because all of her friends tell me I'm good looking, and she always says her work colleagues pass her phone around commenting on her screensaver of her and me, saying about me being good looking. I have a job, I'm loyal, I give her everything. Well, at least this person isn't facing self-esteem issues. She hates me enjoying myself with anyone else. She always goes to festivals and stuff and never invites me. I invite her to anything I do. She wants us to buy a house together and have kids, so I'm getting real mixed messages. I caught her talking to an ex-boyfriend a year ago, and she said it was nothing, and then cut him off because one of her mates told me he was one of her exes, and I told her I was leaving, but I ended up staying with her.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a red flag. That's a big red flag.
It's flying in the wind, yeah.
Yeah. There's a reason why she doesn't want to post about her engagement on Instagram.
Yeah, there sure is.
See, this is like one of those things where people are like, oh, social media doesn't matter. And like when it comes to like life and death, no, social media doesn't matter. But it really can be telling when it comes to like things like this.
Well, and he said she posts regularly.
Yeah.
That's your answer right there. It's not like I will be the first to admit, I was in a long-term relationship and there was not very, very many pictures of that person on my Instagram, but it wasn't like I was posting monthly. Like I posted twice a year and one of them was of them.
And it also wasn't that you were like going back and changing the caption or like refusing to post something that's like one of the most exciting things or should be the most exciting thing in your life right now. You weren't talking to an ex at the time. Like all these things on top of each other. I'm like,
bad.
No, I would not trust this person. Like, I really think there's a reason why she doesn't want people to know that she's engaged. The removing of the emojis is insane.
Yeah, that's so sus.
Going back because now the caption just says my best friend.
And then the gaslighting of saying, like, it was never there. She's crazy.
Yeah, this would be enough for me.
To call off an engagement is insane, but this person is lying to your face about something that you know is a lie, like saying it was never there. That's so weird. And it's like, if they're trying to gaslight you and play you about something that small, couldn't be me.
Yeah, no, I think that's crazy.
And I brush a lot of red flags under the rug. Not this one.
Yeah, I think I would have to say goodbye. Okay, I'm gonna end on a huge red flag.
Oh gosh.
Am I the asshole for leaving a bar hastily after my friend invited a guy she is hooking up with? So over the weekend, I, 26 male, was hanging out with my friend, 26 female, who happens to be my ex-girlfriend. We dated years ago, didn't talk for a bit after we broke up, but became friends again. There's not any romantic feelings between us, but we have hooked up a few times in our post-relationship friendship. Overall, though, we get along, and this day we were chilling as friends. We ended up going to another bar after meeting up with some people. This is when she dropped an uncomfy bomb on me. She has been talking to this guy I'll call Bill, who is 48. Now, I'm not into her. I want to be her friend, so she can do whatever she wants, and I'm not going to judge her. But I personally don't want to be around Bill or watch them interact. There's no romantic feelings, and you don't want her at all. You're completely over it. But you don't want to watch her be romantic with somebody else?
I kind of don't blame him.
Why would you care? If it's literally just your friend, you are nothing except friends. No part of you wants this person. No part of you secretly hopes you're going to get back together.
Yeah, I think that, I don't know, call me crazy. Call me whatever you called people without Instagram. But there are people that I dated in high school, in college. Like, I straight up have no feelings for. And I literally couldn't care less and I want them to be happy. But that doesn't mean I feel like sitting around and watching who they're with be lovey-dovey at the bar.
I'm thinking about my first boyfriend ever, and I don't care. I think if I saw him with a new girlfriend, if he got married, I wouldn't care.
I guess, see, I'm thinking about my first boyfriend ever and how toxic that was. And I don't want to see him with another woman because I don't want her to deal with that. But I don't know, I can see where he's coming from. Like, I don't know.
Okay,
maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe I'm more open-minded than you.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe you're more closed-minded. Continuing on. She had plans to meet up with Bill at the bar down the street after we were done at the current bar. That was fine with me. I planned on going home anyway after this. She asked me multiple times if I wanted to meet Bill, and I said I don't. And she can do whatever she wants, but it would be uncomfortable for me, and I'd rather not interact with him. If you're genuinely friends with someone, why would it be uncomfortable for you to interact with their partner?
I think if you were always platonic friends, that's different than having dated and having had feelings for them. And now you can be over those feelings and still not want to be with them. But it's still like maybe there's just like a ping of like I don't really want to see you with someone else. Like, I know I don't want to be with you, but that doesn't mean I want to see you with someone else.
All right. I don't know. So far, I don't think I've changed my mind. I really feel like
I don't think you're going to change your mind, but I just think that I don't think that he's in the wrong.
Okay. She kind of got mad at me and called me judgmental, but I don't really want to see my ex canoodle with some weird old dude. Who said he was weird? We were playing pool at the bar when in the midst of our game, she says that Bill is going to come to this bar. I was like, okay, when? She says later. So I go, okay, we will finish our drinks and game, and then I'll close out and call a ride. 5 minutes later, she tells me that Bill will be here in 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
I'm like, oh, shiz. I don't really want to run into the guy, so we stop our game. I chug my drink and call an Uber. This guy is doing anything.
But that's dramatic.
Yeah, to avoid even making eye contact with this man. She tells me Bill is going to arrive any minute, so I go outside.
He books it.
In the cold to wait for my Uber to arrive. He's like, I walked uphill both ways to get outside to wait for this Uber so this Bill guy wouldn't even see me.
God.
I didn't even want to breathe the same air that Bill was breathing.
No.
This weird old guy.
Canoodling with my ex.
Canoodling. The second he steps foot on this block, I ran away.
I couldn't even live in the neighborhood anymore after that.
We were texting a few days later, and I did tell her I had fun, but I definitely felt shooed away at the end. I made all the choices. I did this. I ended the game. I didn't want to see him. I felt shooed away. Are you okay?
Okay, but hear me out.
Okay.
He told her, I don't want to see him. I'm going to leave before he gets here. And she's like, and he's coming right now. It's like, okay, well, we had planned to hang out for 10, 15 more minutes, finish our game, finish our drinks, and I would go. And you knew that was because he was coming, and now you told him to come right now.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Open-minded.
I'm just mad at this guy. I'm sorry. We were texting it. Okay, shoot away at the end, yada, yada, yada. Victim complex.
Victim blaming.
True. She told me I was allowed to stay. Oh, I was allowed to stay. Thank you so much for allowing me to stay at this public place.
Right.
I said I didn't want a third wheel, her and Bill. Not even for a second.
Not even if I have to pass him in the Uber.
I think she should have told Bill to wait or just meet him at the next bar like I thought she was going to do. Okay, I feel like that's fair.
The plan.
Yes, I feel like that's a fair thing to get annoyed at is like, oh, we were just supposed to hang out and now you invited your boyfriend.
Yes.
I think that's fair. But the fact that this guy is doing anything he can, he's literally fleeing the scene because he doesn't even want to meet this man.
But he did tell her, I don't want to meet this man. And then she was like, oh, by the way, he's going to come here now, so we're going to cut our time short. That is where the showing comes from.
That's why I feel like he's in the right to be mad about that. But I just think it's a little suspicious why he's so anti.
It's dramatic, but I also like removing like the extent of how dramatic he was out of it and placing the facts of the story. He didn't do anything wrong, and this girl kind of did push him at the end.
Okay. She thinks I'm being dramatic, judgmental, and immature for going to these lengths to avoid seeing Bill. I think I was treated a little bogus, but TBH, no, I don't really want to be around some old guy she is sleeping with. A bit more detail, I don't want to control my ex, so I said nothing about this, but I do think this situationship she is in is weird AF.
I mean, I've already said my piece. I don't think it's that wrong to not want to meet your ex's new person. Like, yeah, it's really not your job or your business to be like, oh, I think it's so weird. But like, whatever, everyone judges their ex and the next person they date. Like, let's be so for real. Like, we all do it. We've all done it. And he's human, and I don't blame him. It's fair to get a little bit annoyed with your friend who rushes their time with you to bring in their significant other. That is fair. Mm-hmm. I think that he is being a little bit dramatic. He is definitely being like, well, I'm going to chug my drink and rush out of here. That's a little, touch and go. Like, why are you, that is dramatic, but he didn't do anything wrong.
Interesting. Okay. I just feel like if you are genuinely so over someone, just like really think about the reason that you don't want to see them with someone else. And if it's just because it's like a little bit upsetting, I feel like that means that you're probably not like completely over that person.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think it matters that much if you always like think about like what could have been. That's human.
Well, I think that would be fine if you weren't trying to be friends with them. Like, I feel like this person's like, yeah, I can be friends with my ex. Like, why?
But I know you just hate the idea of like being friends with your ex. And are you letting that cloud what's going on in this story?
Well, I think that the reason why this person is so anti meeting the new person could be the reason why I don't like the idea of being friends with exes.
Yeah. I think that you're hung up on that and you're not being open-minded about maybe it is just this person's human and they could be over this person, but it's still, there's always a little sting of like, damn, they're over me.
I do wonder if that's a sting. If you're genuinely so over them, would it actually sting?
I don't know.
I just think about my first boyfriend who I respect you. Like, I love the times we had, but like, I would not care if I saw him with someone else.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It is hard.
I would love to hear what everyone else thinks.
Yeah, true. Well, That was fun. So sorry. We probably did like 4 stories and talked about
We
relationships.
did not talk about red flags.
No, I didn't.
We talked
fine,
about
though.
like making relationships work and
Yeah,
priorities.
This was fine though. Should I call it something else? What should we call the episode?
Religion and relationships. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Ultimatums are not it. Like, don't give an ultimatum. Don't make your ultimatum moving away. Religion. Well, you know what? Make your ultimatum religion, but only if it's early on. Only, put your foot down for what you believe in.
Yeah.
Lay your cards out day one.
Sure. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast.
Sorry about the tangent.
No, I'm not sorry. Okay, it's a skill to be able to talk.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. Thank
It's
you.
a blessing and a curse.
It is not a curse. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.